Group B is what we're talking about today, and that includes England, Afghanistan, South Africa, and Australia. It's England we're going to talk about first. They're coming off a series from India where they got whitewashed in the 50-over game and smashed in the T20 arena as well. Their white ball form is not good enough going into an ICC tournament. But don't worry, English fans, because there have been a couple of teams around the Australian arena where they've won a couple of World Cups after losing by a series games beforehand. So don't rely totally on the form that England have got going into this series. The other thing is there's a lot of criticism about Brendan McCallum allowing the players to be a little bit more relaxed. They're not training enough. They're spending a little bit too much time on the golf course. Well, it's not for the critics out there to decide what's best for the players. It's the players and the coaches to work it out, because they're old enough to work out what they need to prepare for the big game. But let's go through this England 11 that I think will start. And I think it's a dominant 11, and I'm not going to write them off. Salt and Duckett up front. They are fairly consistent as an opening partnership. They get them off to a good start. Very aggressive, really take full toll through those first 10 overs and really put the pressure on the opposition teams. That allows Root and Butler to come in and play a little bit more conservatively and control those middle overs and set it up for the likes of Brook and Liam Livingstone out the back end. But if they lose early wickets, this is where they're going to fall into trouble, because they don't want to expose Brook for too long against quality spin in those middle overs. He's got to find a method against spin because he's struggled over in India, and he's up against Afghanistan in this group who are full of quality spinners. South Africa and Australia have got some good spin as well. And watch out for the tactics of saving spin against Harry Brook. The other worry is Liam Livingstone coming in our 6. If they lose early wickets, can Liam Livingstone play more conservatively? Get the flow of the game, get the pace of the pitch, because when he's under pressure, he generally tries to hit his way out of that pressure rather than tough it out. So that's something that he's got to add to his game to help England in this series. So their top 6 is set up quite well if the opening batsmen get them off to a good start. But they've got a long tail. Jamie Overton will come in out 7. Yes, he can handle the bat, but you don't want him facing more than 5 overs. And then you've got Jofra Archer, Rashid, Wood, and Masood to finish off the bowling attack. Now, I love this bowling attack. You've got Jofra Archer, Masood opening the bowling. Then you've got Overton and Wood being able to work those middle overs with Rashid. So you've got a little bit of pace, but you've got a bit of medium pace as well, who can change it up, bowl some quality Yorkers, and then you can use Liam Livingstone with a bit of spin as well. And then out the back end, they've got Archer, Wood, and Masood, who are quality death bowlers. So their team is looking quite set for this ICC trophy. The only issue is their batting depth. They've got good depth on the bench as well. They've got Cass, Atkinson, who are quality bowlers who can really step up to the plate if they have an injury. And they've got Jamie Smith, who can hit a big ball, and Tommy Banton as well. So don't write England off, England fans, or other fans for that matter. You've got to be switched on, because I think England could turn things around, or their form around, very quickly and be a big challenger out the back end of this tournament. Well, if you think Group B is easy, well, you better watch out for this team, Afghanistan, because on Pakistan conditions, they've got a lineup that can upset some of the big boys and really push for a finals berth. I like their 11 that I've got together here. They've got Gurbaz opening the batting. Now, he can be quite aggressive, really take the bowling attack apart and get the momentum flowing for Afghanistan. If he bats deep and bats through the first 10 overs, he could have a big score on the board. And I like the fact that he's opening with Ibrahim Zadran. I like his technique, a little bit more conservative, and this is the perfect opening combination that Afghanistan can have to set up a good foundation. You've got the power as well as the conservativeness. Then you've got Ramat Shah coming in at number 3 and Shahidi, the captain, number 4. I like those two particular players, able to control those middle overs. And then you've got Azmatullah Amazi. Now, an all-rounder here who can bowl some beautiful swinging deliveries with the new ball, and not bad in the death as well. He's had a little bit of experience in IPL, and he's very handy with the bat. Muhammad Nabi with his right arm off spin and his batting skills coming in at 6, and Golbadin Nahib coming in at number 7. Another medium pace option, and someone who can have some big hitting out the back end, with Rashid Khan coming in next. And then you've got Fahid Ahmed, Noor Ahmed and Faruqi to finish off this 11. What I like about it is you've got 2 left arm paces, you've got a left arm leg spinner, you've got a couple of right arm off spinners as well, and you've got a couple of right arm medium paces. Plenty of depth in the bowling department, but their batting relies heavily on the top 4 to get them off to a good start, and then allow those all-rounders in the middle to be able to just, finish off the innings. So the top 4 have got to bat at least 35 overs to make a huge impact. Now you've got Naveed Zadrin, the youngster that's on the sidelines as well, and Alakil and Atul, as well as Karoti, the all-rounder. I like this lineup, especially the starting 11. The bench is a little bit weak, just they don't have a stronger bench as other teams around, but if that starting 11 fires, watch out. South Africa, Australia and England. Could be a few upsets with this team. It's time for the third team in Group B. That's South Africa, and they're going to miss Nortje with his extra pace and bounce. But they've still got a fighting 11, and if they are going to win an ICC tournament, this is one of the years that they've got to do it, because they're aging fast. Most of their team is around the age of 35, especially in the batting lineup. But their 11 that I've got for them is Bavuma opening the batting. The reason being is he's not that good against spin, and there's going to be a lot of spin being bowled in those middle overs. So he can be up front against the extra pace and just try and use a little bit of timing through the gaps. He'll be opening with Dazorzi, then Rickleton coming in out 3, Stubbs out 4, Aiden Markram out 5. The reason why he's coming in out 5 and not opening the batting is because of Bavuma's struggle against spin, but he's good against spin, but he's also going to bowl 10 overs of his off spin as well. He's quite tidy there, and they need him to bowl those 10 overs to get a better balanced team. Klasan coming in out 6, and if the top order get them off to a good start and they're 3 down or 4 down through that 35th over, he'll come in before Markram, because he's one of the best players in the world against spin, and you'll want to utilise that strength. And then following Klasan is Miller and then Johnson. So they bat right down to 8. Johnson can handle the bat, the big, tall, quick, and that's good batting depth from South Africa. With their bowling lineup, they've got Aiden Markram bowling the right arm off spin, but Johnson to open the bowling with Rabada, and then you've got Ngedi with that extra pace, and Shamsi to finish it off with his leg spin. You've got an attacking spinner with a defensive spinner. That is good balance. They've got Bosch, Mulder, Maharaj, as well as Van der Dusen on the sideline. That is a quality bench. Couple of all-rounders there to back up Jansen, and a fast bowler if need be, a few medium pieces there. But that 11 can do a little bit of damage, and I like how it's got good quality batting up the top against pace. The middle order can really play spin, and they can really power out the back end with that balanced batting lineup. And they've got variance in bowling where they can be defensive and aggressive at the same time. South Africa can trouble the other 3 teams in Group B. It's the final team of Group B and the final team of the tournament that we're going to go through, and it's my mob, Australia. Now, they're depleted because they've got a few injuries. They've got the injuries to Cummins, Hazelwood and Stark, and we're really going to see what depth Australia have got in that bowling department. But there are a few players that are coming in that had experience in the white ball format, both T20 and One Day internationals for Australia. That can fill the void, hopefully. But let's go through the starting 11 for Australia. I've got Head, Inglis opening the batting. The reason why I've got Inglis opening the batting is because Fraser McGurk and Matthew Short have not fired a bullet in that area. So you've got a little bit of experience up there out front. Number 3, I am going to take a risk here. I am going to have Fraser McGurk coming in at number 3 because he can play that aggression. If he comes off, he's going to win 1 or 2 games for Australia. And plus, he's going to feel a little bit more comfortable batting between the experienced top order, or the top 2, and Steve Smith coming in out 4. So he feels as though he's got that license and he can play with freedom, knowing that he's got the comfort and support of the coach, captain, and those other players around him. Coming in at 5 is the big show, Glenn Maxwell. It's great to see him back, and I think in those middle overs, he's going to be awesome against spin, reverse hits, the conventional sweeps, hitting down the ground, and he's going to be hard to control there. Kerry coming in at number 6. And then Aaron Hardy, number 7. You need that all-round ability, someone who can bowl as well as bat. And then I've got Sean Abbott coming in out 8. He can handle the bat as well. So Australia have got the depth in batting there. Nathan Ellis, then Spencer Johnson and Zampa to finish it off. So you've got Johnson, who's got extreme pace when he gets it right. You've also got Ellis, who can bowl in those middle overs and death as well. He's got a great array of deliveries in change-ups when it comes to those death overs, but he can also bowl that variety through the middle overs alongside Zampa. So Abbott and Johnson will probably open the bowling, and Aaron Hardy will bowl a few overs with Glenn Maxwell as well. On the bench, they've got Matthew Short. He's had his opportunities but hasn't taken them. Tanveer Sangha, as well as Dorcas and Labuschagne. So Labuschagne misses out as well because he's been out of form and it's time to move on. I think this team, although it's new, can do a little bit of damage, but the batters really need to fire and put on a big total, and I think Abbott and Ellis have to carry the attack alongside Zampa. So for me, looking at Group B, if I'm just looking at form and good 11s, I'm thinking that Afghanistan and South Africa have got the best chance of going through to the semi-finals. But I'll never write Australia off because they always find a way in these big tournaments, no matter their squads. So looking at the end of Group B, the 2 teams that I think have the best chance of going through are Afghanistan and South Africa. I think they've got the best 11s, and England's form and Australia's depleted lineup just gives better opportunity to those 2 teams. But I'll never ever write Australia off because they always tend to find a way.